this is new for us. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, we're
Uh,
usually meant to be heard and not seen.
yes, but
Nobody wants
because
to see us.
well,
I'm
we're,
meant to be neither, but
we're our handsomeness is too distracting for people. That's why it's audio only up
Fair.
till now. But try and bear with us, people. So today we're going to look at the new edition of Ars Magica, or Ars Magica, as I believe it's really called, but we're going to call it Ars Magica because it's easier. Um, what was I going to say? At least two people in this room are very excited about this, and that would be me and Damon, who I suppose we should admit up front we have backed this. I backed it immediately the second it was announced.
Me
I
too.
backed it as soon as I could back it. I don't know if anybody else did. Um, and then we received copies of the definitive edition from Atlas Games. So we'll admit that up front too. So we are going
The
to have a
PDF
look at
version.
that PDF version. Yes, the book doesn't actually come out until May, apparently. And
Ooh.
then I do not know when it hits retail at all. But I should start um, because I don't think many people play Ars Magica anymore. And so we'll go with what I got here. Ars Magica is a tabletop role playing game written by Jonathan Tweet and Mark Reinhagen. Tweet has also given us games such as Over the Edge, Everway, 13th Age, and was one of the developers of the D20 system in third edition D&D. Hooray for that.
Yay.
And Mark Reinhagen, of course, gave us Vampire the Masquerade and The World of Darkness. So, Ars Magica is set in mythic Europe, a historically grounded version of 13th century Europe, with the added conceit that conceptions of the world prevalent in folklore and institutions of the Middle Ages are factual reality. For instance, angels, demons, fairy folk, and all other mythical creatures of the time are very much real. The player's involvement revolves around an organization of wizards known as magi, their home base known as a covenant, and their allies and foes, both mundane and supernatural. The game was unusual for the time as it encouraged players to create and play multiple characters for something it called troop play. I think we're a bit more familiar with that now, especially playing Dungeon Crawl Classics and such. But first published in 1987, the game has gone through 5 editions and has been published for the last 30 years by Atlas Games, who released the 5th edition of the game, which I have got right here, written by David
Ooh.
Chart in 2004, which is now 22 years ago. Chart has been the game's line developer for the last 20 years, and his work is instrumental in this forthcoming definitive edition. So I think that pretty much covers it. But I'm going to quickly turn it over to Damon because Damon's played this longer than any of us here. And Damon is a big Ars Magica fan. Damon, why should people play Ars Magica? What do you love about Ars Magica?
The things I like most about it is different from every other RPG in that it dispenses with the idea that all characters are created equal. Your wizards, your magi are clearly the most powerful characters around, other than perhaps any kind of opposition that the story guide might come up with for you, perhaps. But um, and that's really unusual. So I think that's where the troop style role playing really comes in. Your everybody gets a wizard character, right, that participates, but you may not always play that wizard every time. They don't usually want to go out and interact with the mundanes. It's a little risky for them, a little dangerous. If they expose themselves too much, it's going to call too much attention to them in ugly ways. And so that means you have all these other characters that have to help mediate the wizard's interaction with the rest of the world. And it's just an entirely different setup from every other RPG in that way. So in the course of a game. Maybe you'll play your wizard character, maybe you won't. You'll probably play your companion instead. And even if you don't do that, you'll have a whole bunch of, hilarious grog characters that you can dip in and out of.
The companion is your more traditional,
your skilled
role-playing character, usually.
Yeah, like your huntsman or something like someone who is highly skilled, noble maybe, who's got connections. So there's that aspect that I find just really interesting. It's completely unlike every other game. The other thing I like about it is it's so easy to explain to everybody. It's kind of like what you said at the top column. It's essentially medieval Europe, but where everything that people thought was real at the time actually is real. It's such an easy description, and so it's really easy to drop people in. You don't have to try and explain the world of Greyhawk or Forgotten Realms and all their gods and anything like that. Like, to me, it makes it really easy to hook people in. So for me, those are the two big ones. It's a completely different style of play, and also just conceptually, it's so easy to grok. I think those are the strongest elements. If you happen to like magic that you can create on the fly, this is, as far as I'm concerned, the best system yet created for, like, if you want, when your magic characters or wizards are running around and you just need an effect, you just need to do something magical, they can at least give it a go. Systems like Dungeons and Dragons or other RPGs usually have you have a list of spells, you have a list of magical abilities, and you're stuck with it. And particularly in the case of D&D, it's like you gotta prepare all that stuff ahead of time, and you better hope you guessed right.
And you have lists of spells in Ars Magica too.
Oh, you do, absolutely.
But you can also wing it. You can
wing it right on the fly.
You can make up a spell on the spot.
It's all really fun that way. Yeah.
It is really fun. It also has the best spell names, hands down. I'm trying to find some of them.
Well, the example that sticks in my head is don't call your throwing of a big ball of fire spell fireball. No. You call it the ball of abysmal flame. Yeah. That's what the game encourages you to do. It's really great stuff.
Oh, or why have cure wounds when you can cast the severed limb made whole?
Yeah.
Oh, I've had a ring to it.
Yes. Pains of the perpetual worry. There's just some lovely titles in there.
It's really inspirational. Just the examples they gave you, the set spell list, it's all really. And I also love the idea of the Covenant. You and your fellow role players make this. You really make a community. You're not just making a troop of adventurers who run around and do things, and that's fine. I mean, believe me, I enjoy my Dungeons and Dragons a lot. But this is a different thing where, like, you are going to work with other people to, like, make a community, and you're going to flesh out that community with all the people that need it, that are there to make it work and make it run. That's new and different as well.
I do. I think that's a very cool element, which we have never. But we've never got the chance to.
We haven't played enough of it to really do that.
No, because you really need it. It's really part of a campaign thing. But
it develops over years, literally years.
It can, for sure.
It could.
Yeah. Although I think, as we've demonstrated, we've played 3 to 6 sessions here. Or something like that. You can't absolutely play this game as one-offs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's always got that thing nagging in the background though, going, "Oh, I'd love to go to my laboratory in the Covenant and do this."
Well, as we were saying, like, your wizards don't necessarily want to go out and about and quote unquote adventure. They want to do their researches.
Yeah,
they got to get stuff done.
And the thing that's very cool about the Covenant is, like you said, you've built it. Like, you built us one. You did an initial one for us that was like, it was in Wales somewhere.
Yeah, Western Wales.
And but you're just encouraged to flesh it out, build on it, just beef up its libraries, its laboratories, just all of this stuff that has nothing to do with going out and adventuring or whatever, but has everything to do with being wizards and creating magic. And then you can just research magic. You can research new spells. You can write books of magic and spend years writing them. There's
nothing like this game.
I think is crazy. But that all sounds very, very intimidating, and you don't have to do any of it. It's like you said, when you actually strip all of that away, the game is actually really, really quite simple. It's just like
in play, it's very streamlined.
It's just like it's a D10 system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a D10 system.
D10 plus modifier versus target is what most of the rules
pretty
go
much
down to.
There's
standard.
Some
chrome on that, but that's basically how it works.
Yeah. So
actual playing, like the nuts and bolts of doing an adventure or whatever you want to call it, is not difficult.
No.
Most of the rules, the crunchy stuff, is really about what happens outside of that.
Yep. And then you also you've got your rolls can be either simple, where you roll your D10 and it's just 1 through 10 and you score it that way, or you roll a stress die, which is usually what you're rolling, which is 2 through 8 score normally, but 1s and 0s mean something else. And a 1 is basically like an exploding die, right?
Yeah,
it is. You just double. You roll again, and you double the result. And then, if you roll a 1 again, you double again. And if you roll 0s, then we're into the whole botch thing, where it's basically the opposite of it. It's exploding dice in a really bad way. So it's the best way to describe it, because I don't want to go into botch dice too much. But I'm going to show some of the old edition here, the latest edition, which is the 5th edition. And I should point out that this definitive edition that they have put out now, or that they are bringing out, is still the 5th edition. It is just greatly expanded and overhauled, like greatly expanded. I can't believe how big it is, and overhauled. And it's just
the biggest thing are mostly they've clarified a lot of things that were a little mysterious even to me.
There are so many examples,
so many good clarifications
about time, just so many examples, and because there have been like, I think, 50 supplemental books published for this.
Oh wow!
By Atlas Games alone. And what David Chart and all of those people have done is they've taken all of the best information from those supplements and brought them into the core, where so they've expanded chapters like character creation. The bestiary is enormous compared to what it was in the original book. There's just a lot more stuff in there. And sorry, Rob, go ahead.
Callum, something that struck me was one of my favorite parts of character creation is the virtues and flaws. So those really make characters distinctive. Like you could have 2 characters with exactly the same stats.
Yeah.
By choosing different virtues and flaws, they're different.
Yeah.
I would suggest starting character design by picking a couple of virtues and flaws. And I didn't do a count, but I compared this definitive edition with the 5th edition. There are substantially more to choose from, which I think is a lot of fun.
What could be more fun than more flaws?
Every time I read through the virtues and flaws, I literally mean this. Every time I read the virtues and flaws chapters, I make a character because something hits me. I've done it every time. I did it this last time when I was reviewing it. I'm like, oh, I got to make a character. It is the fun stuff.
So here is the current edition of Ars Magica, published in 2004. It weighs in at a whopping 240 pages. This is the cover of the new one, which is now leather bound, although I believe it's called leatherette, as I like to call it. What do Americans call it? What do you call fake leather?
Pleather.
It's beautiful anyway. Comes in this set with this reference guide. We'll talk about the reference guide in a bit, but the reference guide is fantastic. A story guide screen, which is really nice. I don't personally use them, but it's very, very nice, and it has all of the major actions you're ever going to do. On the back, there's some really good information on there, and then it comes with a very nice map of Mythic Europe. So this is more of the screen, and there's that map of Mythic Europe. So here we go. Here is our most recent edition from 2004, which I was never wild about the color choice in it, and the art wasn't great. The art was very hit or miss in there, but my main problem was I found it very cluttered and difficult to find things. I didn't think the layout was particularly great, especially when you were trying to look up edge case things. So that's basically how this thing looked before. This is the map of Mythic Europe that comes with the new set, and it's very, very pretty. It has the entire world, the entire medieval world is there. Again, one of the amazing things about this game is that it's essentially rooted in history, it's rooted in reality, but it's rooted in the reality of 13th century humans. So it's rooted in their reality. So it's pretty fascinating. And then this is the layout of the forthcoming edition. As you can see, the art is much improved. The colors are much brighter. It's much easier to read, and I just think the new layout is just so well done. I think it's fantastic. Tables, easy to read. Examples, just so many examples. I just wanted to give some here that there are just so many examples, which I felt the last printing just did not have enough.
I mean, the sidebars here are terrific.
Yes,
so many excellent sidebars.
Yeah, it's not a complex game, but there's just so much there. There's just so much you can do that examples and sidebars and better tables it was just screaming for them. Virtues and flaws, our favorites. So yeah, I think what's everyone else's opinions on the new layout?
I think that you and I were talking before the game, and I'm a notorious curmudgeon about this game. And I think the new layout, for me anyway, makes the game a lot more approachable. Because as you were saying before, it's great to make your own spell on the fly, but when it's, quarter to midnight and you're spending 45 minutes flipping through the book trying to figure out what the hell you're doing, that gets frustrating in a hurry. But this new book, the layout, you can pop back and forth quicker, and the PDF version that we were looking at is so much more well annotated and tabbed. It makes the original 5th edition or whatever you want to call it, it felt like you really needed to sit down and read the whole thing before you played.
Oh yeah.
And really absorb it. And treat it more like a novel rather than a source book.
I agree, and it did not lend itself to that at all. So.
And this lends a lot more into being played by folks with families and jobs who can't afford to spend 8 hours of leisure time every day pouring through books like we'd all like to anyway.
Yeah. Oh, like here we go with examples, like sympathetic connections, forceless casting, an example of penetration. All of these like more complex spell based things are just given way more detail, way more. They're just easier to do. I think everything is just at hand in this one that was not there before.
And yeah, I think the color scheme, like you were talking about, just the contrast plays into that too. It's just easier to look at the page and find stuff. So yeah, kudos to the copy editors and layout folks and all that.
Yeah.
And yeah, the art's, I love the art.
Yeah, the art is I think the art in the bestiary is particularly good.
Well, it weaves into an older style and a newer style, especially with some of the murals that they have versus some of the other stuff at the top of some of the pages, which is even almost like it's close to an illuminated manuscript, or almost like the book itself has been used because you're gonna have to reference it. This is my first experience with the whole game, and it's just there's so much, and there's so much you can do. And what he even said in making characters, you can take as much time as you want to be as minute as you can be, and exactly. Take a long time to create somebody, but you're going to have a defined character.
Well, I think for people who like to create characters, I don't play D&D much. I especially 5e. And I know that people who play 5e, or a lot of 5e players, are very, very big into their characters and their backstory. And if you like characters with backstories, then I think Ars Magica takes it to a whole other level. Because
let's say for bringing people in too, with the one advantage of the troop system is your first time playing, you don't have to know all the magic stuff. You could come in playing a companion or even an interesting grog, get some of the rules down that way, and then branch out into the magic system. And somebody involved has to know the rules really well, but there are ways to wean people in by using that troop system. And then they can say, oh, it seems like that spellcaster is having a lot of fun. I'm ready to try that next time.
Yeah. And when we say grogs, we're just talking about, peasants and farmhands and basic kind of soldiers and hired hands, just things like that.
One of my favorite characters was a grog, Jacques the Poacher. I had a lot of fun with him. He was as fun as playing a mage as far as I was concerned. But also another advantage of the troop is you design a character who doesn't fit this particular outing or adventure or whatever. Like if there was an urban, like, oh, you're going to visit the university in Paris, what's your poacher going to do? You leave him home. You take one of your mage characters or your scholar companion, and you play them for that session.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the story guide doesn't have to work so hard to make sure everybody and their one character has something to do. It's more like, well, you're always going to have something to do as a player. Always. No, you'll have someone fun to play. I guarantee it. Maybe even several someones.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what else we could say about this.
I'll say the one reference I could have used in the new pack, or maybe something online, is like a really good one sheet separate character creation thing. Because my experience in creating characters with the 5th edition is a lot of page flipping. Okay. All right. I've done this step. Now I go back to here. And all right, now I'm ready for abilities. Where's that? I think the layout of this is going to help with that. But a standalone character creation cheat sheet, I think, would have been helpful.
Yeah. I will admit that creating characters in ours, your wizard character in particular, can be a little, it will take you a bit of time if you're going to go all the way through it.
Well,
not as hard as we make it out to mock Damon with. It's not as hard as we give you crap for, but it is involved. Yeah.
It is a little involved, yeah. But at least there are useful templates and even guidelines about how to personalize the templates. So.
There are templates in both the 5th edition and this definitive. You could just take a character right out of the book and play it. They're ready.
I think Cam actually did.
I did. I grabbed the flambeau and renamed him after William Sherman and just torched everything.
There are some very good ready-made characters in the book. Both grogs, companions, and wizards. There's wizards for Magi for every major house in there. That's there. The houses that magi that wizards belong to are just also radically different too. So
I wanted to ask you guys, there's a lot of, I think in this one, there's more options for playing, correct me if I'm wrong, for playing supernatural companions. Like,
that's new to the core rules.
You could be a fairy, or you could be a werewolf, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you could be like, there's a lot more crazy crap you could do now.
That is new to the core rules. I don't know what expansion that came from. I'm not familiar with it, but that was I thought that was a really cool addition.
Yeah, that's all pretty fun. That's all been rolled into the the new edition, which I think is great.
So
yeah, I love it.
Even the Mythic Companion is something that's new.
That's new.
Yeah. Okay.
To the core
new to the core book. I mean, the original book, the 5th edition book was 240 pages. Okay. This one is 580 some pages. So it's got it just has way more stuff in there. I also think I didn't read fully through the character creation. Character creation does seem easier. It seemed, I mean, it's the same character creation.
The process is laid out
better. The process is laid out
guided a bit more.
Much better. And also, I think it is kind of daunting to do, but it's also daunting to do in something like Traveler. But but the character creation is just, it's so fascinating that it kind of really needs to be evolved, especially when you hit the virtues and flaws. Because like Rob said, you should do the virtues and flaws, pick them first, because once you start doing this character and then you hit the virtues and flaws and you go, oh my god, this is really cool. So you should just start out first. Plus they really shape your character and give you, they fire up what your story is going to be, what kind of backstory you're going to give that character. So I still have my Marius of Bergamo, the failed exorcist, who's still my favorite characait, and I've yet to play him. Only Jenny has played him.
Oh, that's true.
I've never got to play him.
Well, she did fine.
Wait. Was he like kind of creepy and he off-putting for the locals?
Yes.
Yeah. You played him. Didn't you do him when we did a chat, play-by-chat for him?
Oh yeah. I did when we did a play-by-chat. So yeah, the one that Damon ran, the Cathedral and the Bazaar.
That's right.
No, Damon ran it, didn't he?
I ran one with Evil Normans.
We both did. Yeah,
Rob. Normans are evil.
Rob.
That's
one thing about character creation I do want to point out.
Not Norman Fell.
It's a bunch of guys here on this call.
Yes.
One thing that's also new that I genuinely appreciated in the character creation was there's more guidance about female characters and their roles and the things you can do, and maybe one of the ways you can break out of this, some of the more standard misogynist boxes that you might think they're put in.
Yep.
And I found that very inspiring. Before this edition came out, I made a couple of female characters that were important to the Covenant I made, just because I'm like, well, we gotta get them in there somewhere.
I remember them.
Yep. So, this extra guidance was really cool. And the other thing that was really cool was the expansion from just almost purely Western Europe into Occidental Europe, even North Africa.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
Yeah, that's all from the supplement.
Very much appreciated that. Yeah. In the core rules, I thought that was great.
Yeah. It's great that they brought all of that stuff in. And sorry, go ahead.
No, there's one 4th edition expansion that I still own that I wish that somewhere in 5th edition so David Chard, if you're listening, Ultima Thule, if you could get that one in a 5th edition treatment, I'd very much appreciate it.
Is that the Icelandic one?
It's the Nordic countries.
They have, that kind of brings me to the license. They've done like an open license with this now. Oh. So they've released everything, like absolutely everything for Ars Magica, including every single supplement ever written. The text of it is all available for free. So for you to do what you want with and develop new Ars Magica content, which why not? So that's also really cool that they've made that available. And so hopefully people will develop stuff for it. I'd like to see more stuff for it.
I'm curious if, having gone through this definitive edition, if people like if you're getting the itch to play it now based on the reading of it, and I want to start not with the hardcores here, but with the ones more in my territory.
Yeah,
Garrett.
I mean, it's a lot to take in. But yeah, no, definitely. I think I like the idea of the troop play, and just bringing in a gaggle of characters and see where they can fit into this covenant. I mean, just again, this is the first I've digested it in the last 3 days, and there's just so much, like, because even the covenant itself, it's almost like its own character. So every little aspect of what you're doing in this thing has its own life to it. I mean, you can get down to accounting for the covenant, all the tables and stuff like that.
Right.
It's like, it does give you some interesting ideas.
You can foment a spell to do accounting, and write a book on it. Sorry, Rob, go ahead.
Oh, so Cam, have you overcome your notorious seething hatred for the? All right, I'm exaggerating.
It's not a seething hatred. It honestly isn't. Like, I still feel that I don't. What appeals to me about the game is how in depth you can get with it. I really, really, really like that. The barrier there is I'm not at a place in my life where I can get that in depth with a game.
Yeah.
And I guess that's where I'm like, I don't know if I want to play 4 sessions of this because, I want to dig into that minutia and I want to spend, 15 hours of game time counting, beans in the granary. Yeah, and I just, as much as I would like to get into it, it might be something that, once the kid's a few years older, I'm ready to take the deep dive into a full campaign with it, because I think that's where the fun of the game will come.
One thing I want to, sorry, Rob, please go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good, Damon.
I was going to say about the covenant, like, to me, that really stood out to me as the chapter with, almost like the most expansion from the core rules. And I do think it's like for better and for worse. Like, so there's this new to the core rules concept of covenant loyalty and then covenant finances, and tracking your expenditures. And I found some of that interesting, but I was even thinking, I think that's more rules than I want to deal with. And so,
wow.
So I'm like, I think we're just going to ignore some of those. Like, if we end up playing, I'm like, I'm not going to worry so much. Like, the thing about this game that you can forget about, and it's mentioned early in the beginning, is by all means dismiss all the rules that get in the way of you playing.
Well, exactly.
Just don't even care that they exist. Ignore them. It's encouraged from the start by the authors of the game, so you don't have to be necessarily intimidated. You can just decide we're just not going to worry about that.
But the nice thing is if you think, is there this thing in there? The chances are that thing is going to be in there. So it's nice that all of that stuff is in there. I'm really glad that it's all in there.
Yeah,
I'm especially, as somebody who owns, I think, like 20 of the books, I'm really glad to have all of the actual pertinent information in a single volume. I think that's really, really cool. The index, by the way, there's
better organized.
The index is at the back, much better organized too. So thank you to whoever did that.
I think how I use the covenant, if I were to GM for a while, would be I assume most players wouldn't want to do the bean counting part of it, but you could have it can drive the next adventure always. So you could wrap up a session saying, hey, one priority for the covenant might be building a relationship with the local baron, or you might need to build up a new source of vis, however you say the magical energy. Which sounds cooler to you? Whis. I wouldn't have guessed that. Okay. Which sounds more interesting to you, and let that the choice between needs for covenant drive the action next time.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing is a lot of that kind of stuff. If you got one person that's particularly interested in that, with a system like this, depending how you're playing, that portion can be a play by text,
Absolutely.
And I think there's a lot of that kind of stuff that can be done offline with a few emails back and forth. That's kind of background development for
It's a really
what
good
happens,
point.
on
Totally.
screen or whatever.
Sounds to me like Cam wants to do a saga.
I want to, but again, what's going to happen. I'm going to get started with that, and then I'm going to start canning tomatoes, and then my kid is going to throw up, and then the dog's going to start throwing up.
Well, I'm just...
And then, I'm going to... Sorry, guys.
I'm still reeling from the last game we played of this, where we had, which was the one set during the Black Death.
Yeah.
And that just fell apart. It was just too much for some players, and that can be a problem with this, I think. There is a lot to take on board, especially if you're playing a magus or a maga. So, but this thing here, which I now have up on the screen, is also new to this edition. It's in the back of the core book, but they have also published, thankfully, a Ars Magica reference guide, which I believe is 24 pages and has everything you need for your core stuff, your botch die, your ease factors, encumbrance, reputation,
combat rules.
Oh yeah, combat rules is in here. Have poison works, damage tables, holiness and unholiness. Here's all your
molten metal damage, I think, was in there. Yeah, that's going to come up a lot.
Combat's
the way I play it.
Here's your combat sequence, your damage totals. Here's a nice thing with the weapon stats all down here. Very nicely broken down. Magic rules for formulaic, ritual, spontaneous, the most fun magic of all. Then you've got your formulaic and your ritual magic. Words and gestures, which we've never used because we were always playing with audio, but they would be massive fun to use. It encourages the use of hand gestures and Latin, which this is what the world needs. More hand gestures and more Latin.
There you go.
A better place.
It might be worth just taking a quick pause on combat. So one thing that isn't entirely unique to Ars Magica, but for a fantasy role-playing game it's deadly and quick.
Oh, yeah.
Which is one of the reasons you have most of your combat characters, mostly in the game, are grogs, as they're called. The lesser characters with...
red shirts.
That's the way to put it. They're red shirts. And you want them to have a personality that it's sad if they get maimed, injured, or permanently dead.
Yeah.
But you also have to... It's also something that you're going to have to expect. But it also means you try and resolve most situations without getting into combat, because everybody knows if you got to pull your bow and arrow out or your sword or spear, it's going to get ugly quick.
Yeah, you will die like a person in Ars Magica.
Yeah.
It is yeah.
Don't just go wading in like a D&D fighter. That will not work for you.
It might, but if it doesn't,
right,
it's going to go very, very badly for you. And then you've got, the finest medicine that 13th century Europe can supply. So
leeches?
Right?
Yeah, there's leeches, maybe.
That's another thing that's interesting. This was mentioned in 5th edition kind of like broadly, but there's a specific sidebar in the new edition that I appreciated. It's about the physics of Ars Magica. So not only is like the supernatural world real according to how, the culture's conceptualized at the time, but so is physics. Like when you throw a ball, it doesn't continue throwing according to Newton's law because they don't know about it. That's not the way this works. It literally doesn't work that way in Ars Magica. It works the way because it has something to do with the way the air moves around it. You know what I mean? It's like, and so that has an effect on how...
Read your Aristotle, baby.
Yeah, exactly. It has an effect on how magic works. So like that was like the difference between Rego magics and Muto magics. And like there's a whole huge sidebar about Rego and combat, which is details I really loved because it is going through like this is why Rego magic works the way it does when you're trying to hurl a projectile at somebody. Yeah, it's really fun. I love trying to like part of the interesting part of this game is to try and dump your modern sensibilities and really inhabit the mind of of a medieval person and their literal understanding of the physics of the world.
Which is hard to do, but
it's really hard to
it's
do.
fun. It is fun. You are a very good story guide for making people adhere to that. Where a player will go, well, I'm going to just do this, and you will say, how are you going to do that? Explain that to me in your non-contemporary terms. And it's just like, yeah, it is good. It is very, very good. Oh, now I just want to play it. And I just really do. I really do want to play it.
Well, for this troop, I mean, we have the skeleton of a covenant in case we ever want to use it.
Yes, we do.
So yeah. We're happy. We can repurpose it anytime we want.
Yeah, we also have
This is one where you can hand around the GM or storyteller job too, I think, pretty well.
Absolutely.
It's fun for the GM to then step into one of their characters.
Absolutely. Yeah, troop style is the best session. Anybody can take over at any time, and your saga is really not an adventure or even set of adventures. It's just like the whole over the course of time, how characters developing, dying, getting experience, learning things. And yeah, it's very much unlike every other game. There's nothing like it.
So,
all right, that seemed like a really good place to stop. After that,
so yeah,
don't you think?
So yeah, so it gets 2 big thumbs up from me for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really glad I kickstarted it, and I encourage everybody to get a hold of it. You're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's I don't think there's anything like it out there at all.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Especially when it comes to Magic and just the general feel of it. I believe in the introduction, Jonathan Tweet quotes Kenneth Haidt, guy who does Trail of Cthulhu, who has a quote, and his quote is, if you want to make your RPG interesting, set it on Earth. And it's true. It is true. That's why I like Call of Cthulhu so much, I think. And it's certainly what I like about Ars Magica, because Ars Magica has everything you want from, your fantasy RPG, your Dungeons and Dragons type, whatever. You've got your dragons, you've got your demons, you've got your fairy folk, you've got whatever you want, you've got. But you also have the Magna Carta and the Crusades and the beginning of monarchies and all of the political garbage that has to go with that. And also, you're playing unbelievably powerful characters, but your characters are despised by everyone else in the real world, and you can't just wield your magic you can't wield that power that you have, because you can end up just being burned at the stake for it. So yeah,
there's still not enough of you to stop the hordes of everybody else deciding to kill you off.
No, it's a fascinating game. So as Rob said 5 minutes ago, that was a good place to stop, but I'm still going on because I will just keep talking about it. So yeah, that's it. I believe it comes out in May. I highly encourage anyone who has an interest in fantasy RPGs to give it a try.
Hey, Colin, if people wanted to listen to people playing in real time, where could they find such a thing?
Where are you? There you are. There you are on my screen anyway. We've got, this was the first thing we played during lockdown. We played the Ghoul of San Lazar, and we had we had a troop of like 8 players. We had boys and girls. I remember Katie didn't play, but
I think Becky and Jenny.
I remember Becky struck up a conversation with a rabbit, which I had to play a rabbit, and that really took me out of my comfort zone. I wasn't expecting that. But it was the first thing we played, and Rob has run an adventure with this. Damon, you've run several because you're the one who introduced us to this.
Two or three, maybe. Yeah.
You ran a couple just before the pandemic.
I did.
And then you ran that Cathedral and the Bazaar. And then the last one I ran Black Death, which I still have. And I'm quite happy to restart because I think that's a really good one. It has everything. It has, battling wizards, and it also has evil monarchs and political intrigue and the plague.
Who doesn't love the plague?
Who doesn't love the plague?
Everyone loves the plague.
100 years ahead of schedule, but who's counting?
Yeah. So a game where you can't touch anything because you have a 50-50 chance of catching the plague.
Yay.
So so we have several of those recorded on our Spotify or on YouTube and whatever. And but check it out. Absolutely. Ars Magica. This is the old one, but where is it? This is the
Which, by the way, is still legal. So if you find one used, you get the old 5th edition is still good, as Colin said at the top, but the expanded edition is going to be well worth your time and money.
Oh God, absolutely, absolutely. Just much easier to read, much more fascinating to read, and also, I mean, this thing is a fascinating read. It's the world they built is just crazy. And I believe it's released in May. Whether that's just the Kickstarter fulfillment, I do not know, but I assume it's going to hit retail sometime over summer, and that will be from Atlas Games over there in Minnesota. So that's it for us for our first on-camera thing. I can't stop looking at Cav's mustache. I think it's awesome. But, so that's it. That's it for me anyway.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Yep.
Have a good night, all.
Have a good one.
Take it easy.
Now, who wants to reset and do Terror from the Underdeep? Same thing.
Oh, I do, but I think
Colin and I just both got our giant Terror from the Underdeep tomes.
You know what? We could talk about this anyway. Okay.
Yeah. Let me see what we got.
I can't.
Oh, Colin appeared.
Here we go. Okay, this is it. Is that
the next in the Beneath the Giants series?
No. This is the latest from Goodman Games, and it is. I will just read it. This massive box set sends the heroes across the Northlands through the Underdeep into the sunken city to a desolate island in the dark sea. Along the way, they'll uncover the secrets of giants, dragons, liches, cultists, the hideous Kraken Lord, and much more.
Ooh.
With nearly 500 pages of this thing is it's an adventure.
Yeah, that sounds bigger than the Temple of Elemental Evil.
It's actually all one funnel adventure for level 0 characters.
So what you do is you run 100 characters.
Yep.
No, I'm ready for it. This is for D&D 5th edition, and it is for character levels 8 through 16.
Oh, nice.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me see.
That's big.
Yeah.
Oh, so right after Temple of Elemental Evil, you can go run this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, if you want.
Oh, speaking of, we should talk about that sometime, Colin. But
yeah. We shall do that. Okay, so what's it come with inside this massive box? First of all, you get, I'm going to get this eventually, some very nice cardboard inspiration tokens.
Oh.
For those of you that use inspiration tokens. Jesus, come on, Colin.
You got to turn off your background.
Yeah, keep it together, man. I can't turn off my background. Then you'll see all the bodies.
Okay, hold on.
He's using spells from Ars Magica to do that.
So, let me see.
You narrate. I'll do camera.
Oh, very nice. Okay. Why don't you show your edition? It comes with 4 books.
Jesus.
Cam is can't let Cam do it. So cheapers, it's big. Okay.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. So there's the first book, which is a.
Of course, I get a terrible glare.
Yeah, you get a terrible glare, which has a lightning breathing skeleton dragon, which I hope is in the game.
Oh man!
Because a lightning breathing skeleton dragon is just like the coolest thing I've ever.
Like a Draco Lich or something. Huh?
Yeah, whatever.
So cool.
I can't show it.
And there's maps and maps.
There are maps and maps galore. You know what?
They're so cool.
I know how I can do this. Screen share. I can screen share, Cam.
Ooh.
Oh, you're showing off those maps?
Look at that.
They're really cool. And there's a bunch of them.
Wow.
Like,
Ooh.
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, it's handsome.
Yeah, but then they've got. So, yeah, Attack on the Giants Part 1. They've got 4 books of actual
Gameplay.
gameplay.
I cannot conceive how big this is. This is so big.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's giant.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's immense.
It's great.
Oh,
And then
okay.
they, of course, absolutely blew up their Kickstarter. So they had all kinds of like 2-page adventures and stuff like that too.
Oh wow.
This
Yeah,
is going to
they-
be a lot of fun.
There's a whole bunch of
Yeah.
extra stuff here. Let me see. I can share my screen. So there's the cover. There's the cover of book 1, which has
Well, that's book 1.
that is the first book, which
Okay.
is I believe contains the first 3 adventures. And
Well, book 1 is the GM's
it
guide.
is the GM's
book
guide.
2
Is it book 2 that starts it up?
book 2 starts Attack on the Giants.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so here you
Yeah.
are. Here you are.
So yeah, book 1 is just the GM's guide, and then 2, 3, 4, and 5 are.
I'm going to skip through really quick just so we can.
And
Yeah.
the
Oh, nice.
usual awesome Goodman Games art.
I'm
I
just
love
going to
their
show
art.
off
Yeah,
some of the
yeah,
art
There's
here.
just so much of it.
Look at
and-
this. Look at
That's so
this.
great.
Oh dude.
Fantastic.
Okay, that's. Let me see. We gotta get some.
They're all so good.
Come on, man. You've got some maps in here. Whoop.
So then is it using the bestiary from DCC?
It's
No,
got its
no,
own
no.
bestiary.
Got its
Okay.
own.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice.
And they also.
And I think they just use some 5e.
they refer back to the 5e core stuff. They do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's all completely compatible.
No, they
with that.
did a DCC edition too, right?
No,
No, they just did.
Okay.
they only
Oh.
did this. This is the first. This is the first 5e thing I've backed.
Oh wow. Okay.
So. What was that?
Nice.
Let
But yeah,
me-
it's a nice
Uh,
level setting too between
I can
8 and
bring up
16.
some
Gives you a
more.
good chunk
Yeah.
of depth
That-
and at least character development.
That's the setting of levels in Dungeons and Dragons that I always struggled with trying to run anything for, because they're at
Yeah.
a power level that's like, I don't know how to deal with you. Like once characters get to level 8, I don't really enjoy running it, or at least I haven't yet.
Sure.
So if that having a very specific module really well guided is appealing to me as a DM.
Sure.
Otherwise, I'd rather just play it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm always down for killing giants.
Yeah, running low level adventures is just easier for me.
Oh, sure. Definitely.
Yeah, and it's got every giant you want. Look at this
It's
wizard
so good.
dude.
It's
Look
so
at this
great.
wizard dude down here. That is so cool.
That's fantastic.
I would like to blow that up, but I'm too stupid. But he is awesome. I believe
That is awesome.
that is by Peter Mullen. That is some cool art. I mean,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't
Awesome.
want to. There's more maps. I don't want to give anything away here to buy too much, but
Oh, no one's reading anything, dude. You're going fast.
I'm
yeah,
jotting
that's
everything
I'm
down.
just.
I'm going to stop this
Now-
frame by frame.
Screenshot, screenshot,
Right.
screenshot.
There's some really nice art in here,
Nice.
as you would expect
Yeah.
from this crowd. So yeah,
It looks like a lot of fun. It
So
really
the-
does.
I assume the retail,
And a few of the 2-page, like, yeah, the one-shots and stuff in the 2-page adventures look kind of fun too.
yeah.
Those might be good for an off night for us sometime.
Although the last 2-page one I ran for us for an off night didn't work out too well for anyone because it was one of
Which-
our rare total party kills.
Total
Oh,
party kill.
That's not a bad thing, dude.
Where our dwarf went, I'm going to bed.
I had to go to bed. I was exhausted. I had to.
our dwarf fell down dead and was like,
Poor ham and egg.
I'm going to bed.
Poor ham and egg.
Yeah. It's
that
good,
well,
good
and that was the one I was the first one down and the last one down.
Yeah. That made me think
we were close too, though, man. We got close.
That made me think of something which is very DCC, which was to use all of those characters in an adventure set in the afterlife.
I'm here for it.
Yeah,
that sounds fun.
Wait, what happens if you die again?
Oh no!
What happens when you die
your
again?
Goal is you go. I haven't figured it out yet.
Have you played Hades?
No, what's that?
Nope. Oh, it's a great roguelike where you're trying to get out of hell. And every time you die, you just respawn back at the beginning and have to start again.
No. Oh no, that sounds terrible.
It's great. It's actually a really, really great game.
Hilarious.
Yeah, won a couple Game of the Year awards, I think.
So that's Terror from the Underdeep.
Nice.
From Goodman Games, and that's it's going to retail for $100. It's $99.99, but it's a big ass box.
That's still a nice grab for a hundo.
Yeah, there's a lot going in there, as usual. Like Cam said, if you backed it, you just get a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. So, well, they kept blowing up goals, and
they always do, but.
Yeah. Well, then what's the story arc? So do you touch on each?
Here we go. Here's the story arc. The giant clans have allied, and no one knows why. Sounds a bit familiar. Oh no, I shouldn't say that. That's cynical, Colin. I'm not. The Underdeep is clearly not. Never mind. I'm just happy. I think Goodman Games should have been given the Against the Giant series. Everybody knows it. It would have been great. So instead they developed their own. The giant clans have allied and no one knows why. Hill, Stone, Frost, Fire, Cloud, and Storm Giants now work together to collect Electrum. Their tracks lead to an abandoned city of the Underdeep. In these lightless caverns, sinister cultists give the giants offerings to a misshapen Kraken Lord. Can your adventurers uncover the secrets behind this wicked alliance before it's too late?
Nice. Okay.
That's what you got. But it's like 500 pages.
There you go.
So they reckon there is a year's worth of adventuring in it. And they're probably right. So, and it's for
how long did it take us to do Elemental Evil, Damon? 7 years.
Yes, but we did. Okay, to be fair, we had a break where I nearly died and needed time. That was like a year and a half.
Wow.
The pandemic.
We had a baby.
You had a baby. This pandemic that slowed us down. I moved. That also slowed us down.
You moved to
So I'm gonna say a solid 2 years of that were lost, and as a result of also not playing in person, we shortened our sessions to about 90 minutes, as opposed to like the 2.5 to 3 hours.
I don't know. Having a baby and nearly dying just sounds like a kind of a weenie excuse.
Yeah. So fair.
It's a lack of commitment.
I forget now. I actually recorded every session. I mean, I didn't take the extensive notes Katie did, or Becky did, for example, or QJ did, but I did note every session and its date, and I want to say we did it in 70 sessions.
Katie can get you those numbers for sure.
Wow.
It was either 70. It was either a straight 70 or a straight 80. From all the way from session 0, where we were just doing introduction, and all the way to our we had an epilogue session where we just chit chatted.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice.
Wow, and that was your own. That's your own homebrew of that too, right?
Yeah. I did a number of changes to it. It's my favorite D&D adventure, so I personalized it, and it's totally fun, and I'm really glad we stuck through it. I hope that it's going to lead to stories forever for you guys.
Oh, that was that was a lot of fun.
Well, we ran Hamlet, and you guys were like, "Wait a minute, that's it." Remember, because it kind of just ends, and you're like, That's how it leads you into the temple. I think it's a really good lead into the temple. But I don't know that I want to necessarily jump into it all the way again.
Yeah.
It's a big one. It's a
We
lot
got
of
giants to deal with now.
Yeah. It's just that the commitment level is so huge for our group. I don't know that this is the group to do it with. Not that
not this group, certainly.
No,
if I had more time in the week, kind of like Cam, like if I could like carve out a day of the week and we could just play, I'd be like, yeah, I'll run it again. But I don't have that time.
If and when I retire,
Yeah, right.
There's a whole lot of stuff I'm going to do.
Absolutely.
And when I retire.
Well, next week we're going back to Thankless, right?
Are we?
Thankless, Dungeon World,
I'm
and
happy
Thankless.
Yeah.
Finally. So
I have said this a lot, maybe not to Rob's face, but I love Rob running urban political intrigue, different factions games. It's fun to play.
Yeah, well, Blades is a natural for that, totally.
Yeah, Blades. I had so much fun with Blades.
Cool.
Yeah, that's
I'm all for it.
It's great.
Well, still, Cities Without End was fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Still,
I just kind of ran out of steam on ideas for that, but I enjoyed it as far as we got. Yeah,
I enjoyed it too. But all I could I said this to you, Rob, when I was playing it, I was just like, I'd rather be playing Blades because it's it's if you're gonna do the heist thing, Blades, it's gotta be Blades. So DCC does a Lankmar thing, which is all about heists and stuff. But I've never played it, and I'm sure it's very good. But Blades just has it. Perfect.
Oh yeah, and I've run Blades now for 3 different groups for decent chunks of time, and still don't feel like I've exhausted what it has to offer. And I played it in somebody else's campaign too. So
did you back Blade 68?
I didn't. I don't back.
No,
Colin.
Sorry. I'm done. I'm done backing. I'll only. I got too many expenses coming on. You saw my totaled van.
Yeah.
I could have caught the guy too, except he was young and fit, and I'm not. So, what was I going to say? No, I'm kind of limiting myself to just like zines and things like that now. The cheaper end of things. I draw the line at the large outlay for a while anyway. So, I think this Terror from the Underdeep is probably going to be the last one for a while. Although, when I'm saying that, I'm sure I've got another.
I'm waiting on so much stuff. I do want to run. I should have X-Crawl Rodeo.
Oh yeah,
pretty soon.
I've never run it. I've never run it, but I played it. I did that. I played that charity one, and that was so much fun.
Oh sure,
that was
rodeo. Rodeo might be wild. They have a new dinosaur bareback riding event. It's wild.
Okay.
Hilarious.
Hilarious. It's basically if it takes the conceit that if DCC was a televised event.
It's Running Man.
It's
Running Man.
It's good. It is really good stuff. It was a lot of fun. Okay. Well, again, so that's it. Again,
Calm.
That's it. Sorry.
We should talk about the 5e we're gonna be running sometime.
Oh yeah, I said I would run the Lost City, but if it took Damon 7 years to run,
is that what you were gonna run?
Lost City? Yeah, I'd give Lost City a run.
Oh,
okay. What do you think I was going to run?
Well, I couldn't remember, and I am willing to run for Damon, our old group, or whoever wants to jump in on that one. But outside of the Tuesday groups, I want to run White Plume Mountain sometime soon.
Yeah,
I want to play that too. Are you doing a 5e version of that?
Yeah, I'll do 5e.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And it's the I'm gonna do the Tales from the Yawning Portal version, which is slightly abbreviated. It's not it's not huge.
I would definitely be up for that.
It's probably still 5 or 6 sessions though, the way I run sessions.
I'd be up for it if you have room. So
no, I'll see. Like I said, a couple of the people that were in the game I don't think are interested in playing online anymore. It's just not their jam. So I should have a couple seats at the table. Or I'll make them because it's a short module. Okay.
All right. Well, that's it.
Cool.
Okay. Good seeing everybody.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Thanks for having us. And Patalis next weekend, huh?
Yeah.
Next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
Get to deal with the dude.
Buy Ars Magica. Buy From The Underdeep looks really good too. I haven't had a chance to check it over.
Buy games.
But I'm sure it's good. It's got giants.
Just buy games.
It's from Goodman.
It's got Goodman Games. It's got good.
It's got to be good, man.
All right. Oh, very bad. Okay.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night. Oh, take it easy.